But let's talk about one particular company, Indico Remedies. That stock is up around 6.5%. Remember, it was down post its Q4 numbers yesterday, but nonetheless recovered post the conference call, which was post markets. And remember, the stock has done quite well. It's up around 18% on a year-to-date basis. So let's talk to the management. We have Aditi Panandikar, who is the MD of the company, joining in now to give us the fine print of the Q4 numbers and the guidance going forward. Aditi, hi, welcome to the show. Before we start talking about the guidance, I just wanted to get a sense in terms of why the US business was down around 26% on a Q-on-Q basis, and when exactly do you see a recovery and what would it be based on?
Yeah, Ekta, so actually the US business, this year there has been a huge revival. We have grown in our international business to the extent of 66%. And YOY, of course. The QOQ picture which you asked about typically is because of the kind of product and business mix we have. We had more than 6 approvals this year, 7 new product launches in US. So we do have this quarter to quarter kind of shift in how much gets supplied. It doesn't really, since Indoco is not yet front-ended in US, this is more of a primary supply. So I would not take that too seriously. So there has been no dip in sale of any product. It is just a pattern of sale.
All right, Aditi, in terms of your guidance, a couple of questions then. For the domestic business, that's the India business, you're guiding for more than 35% growth. So what's the downside risk to that number? And also with regard to your US business, that's been growing quite well. You've guided for around 250 crores out there. What's the upside risk out there?
Well, in US, there is no risk as I see it. As you're aware, our company has come out of a lot of problems with the regulators 3 years ago. And what you're seeing today is a consequence of a lot of new products being approved, supplies having started. So I don't see much risk on the US business unless there is any major environmental factor which doesn't allow us to supply, but that is very slim. Coming to the India business, yes, we've guided very aggressively on the India business growing. And that is largely because this year, if you look at our India business, we are 10% down. And so there is a base effect which we have to catch up on. And in addition to that, there are early signs of the COVID basket doing exceedingly well, both products used for treatment as well as prevention of COVID. And I'm very confident India business will do in excess of 30% this year.
Okay, you're confident on the India business, in fact, recovering based on probably the acute therapies recovering then. But Aditi, I just missed, correct me if I'm wrong, but you still have a warning letter outstanding for your Unit 1 in Goa?
That's right. Right. So, Ekta, we have written to the regulators, and since it's been more than 6 months since we are requesting them to come down and audit us, to clear that, because updates are all done. Communication between us and the regulators is streamlined. And as such, I think if your question is if US sales will get impacted because of this warning letter, then the answer is no. Because even today, the site supplies 2 to 3 products to US, and there is no impact on current sales to US from that site because of the warning letter. The impact we have really is for the files of products filed from that site, which are not moving inside the FDA. And since most of those products were very futuristic, we don't expect in the shorter term any impact of this warning letter.
No, I know that it probably won't impact your US guidance because it's already been since 2019. You did mention that your regulatory issues have been, you've solved it. The issues which you faced 3 years ago have been put behind. So I just wanted to clarify that. One market which has done well for you, Aditi, this time has been Europe. It's up, I think, around 120% year on year. I do understand that you had won major tenders for kidney stone drugs in Germany. Was that a part of the contribution, and what is your guidance?
Yes, the allopurinol tender one for AOK is definitely a good part of Europe improving. But overall, the basket for Europe has done exceedingly well. Ekta, as you're aware, the regulatory issues, irrespective of whether they happen with FDA or MHRA or any of the regulators, they impact all your markets. So pretty much Europe business was also impacted in parts, and we are coming out of that phase. Europe has done very well for us this year. As you know, most of our sites have European approvals. In addition to the sites in Goa, which are approved by MHRA and the Europe regulators, we also have the 2 sites in Baddi, which are approved. And currently, we are in the process of shifting the European supplies to Baddi to clear Goa for US. So Europe has done very well. On the product allopurinol, incidentally, we are vertically integrated as well. We make our own API. So that is another, positive for us as regards the tender.
All right. And with regard to that tender itself, Aditi, if you could tell us how much of that starts reflecting in terms of revenues for FY22, FY23, if you give us a sense. That's the first part. And the second part is you've done very well on margins. There would be some cost-cutting measures as well that you would have taken. I look at the last quarter, I look at the last fiscal year as well. But you believe that your margins can do even better in the coming year? So both those 2 questions, if you could answer.
Yeah, so on the allopurinol tender, on an annual basis, around 100 and over 1.5 year, 140 crore is what we are expecting to do. And coming to the margins, which is a very important question, this year our India sales have been impacted, and because of the COVID-related issues, a lot of costs associated with India business were also muted. So travel, sales promotion, all those have been pretty much under control for the first half of the year. And later, as they started catching up, for us at Indoco, it is largely the very high growths coming from international business, which have helped us, stay with these margins. So it is both an improvement in the business mix, improvement in sales coming from various geographies, and as well as efficiency, which has come in partly because of the COVID and what has happened to our environment, and largely also because of the kind of controls we brought in.
Margin number be for the next year? 19-20%?
19%, definitely.
Okay. All right. Aditi, just, a clarification. When I asked you about your US guidance, I was referring to, is there an upside risk to that number? And you clarified that, I think, 250 crores. Do you believe there's an upside risk?
As you know, we have a lot of files still pending approval from the FDA. And because we work with a lot of partners, there are milestone payments which have to come in from these partners. And yes, if all goes well, we can look for higher numbers as well.
Okay, Aditi, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the US business, because obviously you're, working with complex generics such as ophthalmology, and that's exactly where you expect your growth to come from in FY22. So how would the approval status work? Because if in case there are no physical inspections which take place, are they just approving complex generics such as ophthalmology products based on remote inspections?
No, Ekta. Fortunately for us, the site where we make most of our ophthal injectable products is already approved by US FDA. And in fact, after the FDA clearance, they were down a couple of times to clear us for specific product approvals. So, we have various manufacturing lines at that site making various kinds of products. So what the FDA has done is, for example, if you already have an approval for a clear solution or a suspension from a particular line, and they have inspected that line before, then they would, I think, approve you on a remote audit itself. But if it is something new, a first time launch, etc., then they would come down. This is my understanding. I think as of now, we are looking at September for them to come down, if at all, for plant 1. This is the newest report I have.
Okay, all right. Just quickly before we wrap up this conversation, then Aditi, COVID-19. any API that you would be manufacturing for COVID-19 particular drugs, anything that you see within the entire vaccine space? Would you be probably looking to repurpose a plant? You know, we have news that Wockhardt has approached the central government for possible tie-ups with vaccine manufacturers. Anything that you're looking at?
Yeah, so Ekta, the vaccine opportunity is very large. And I think if you don't look at it, it's not proper and it's going to stay. I mean, vaccines were always needed, not just for COVID, but culturally, people in India or people at large had their own reservations to using them. I feel the pandemic would change that. Added to that, Indoco as a company has a very high ranking when it comes to our standing with pediatricians, who, other than for adult vaccines, are one of the largest consumers of vaccine. So we would look at vaccines going forward, although a little bit later in future. So Indoco is looking at vaccines at some point, and drawing board plans are on for that. You asked me about the basket. As far as APIs are concerned, we do not directly make any APIs. But for the formulation space, we have 5 to 6 products, including Carval Plus, which is used for nasal decongestant, as a nasal decongestant with steam, which has been used very rampantly to prevent COVID, as well as ATM, which is a azithromycin brand. These 2 products are doing exceedingly well.
All right, Aditi, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much for joining in. Yesterday, we saw a bit of a knee-jerk reaction on the stock. You sounded optimistic in your con call, and you sounded even more optimistic today. The stock moves to the high point of the day. India business likely to grow by more than 30%. US business should do around 250 crores odd, and upping the margin to around 19% odd. If you thought last year was good, well, this year, Aditi is guiding for around 19%. Stock up with a gain of close to around 7.5%.